Let's start with the figures. What were the highlights of Banco Bradesco's financial performance in 2010?
It's important to emphasize that 2010 we can consider a year of the recovery, because Brazilian economy, after growing something close to 0% in 2009, grew something close to 7.5% in 2010. In this environment, create a lot of conditions for Bradesco to develop their business, to have improvement in our portfolio, in our business. So we post a net income of 9.8 billion reais, 29% more than the 7.6 billion reais that we posted in 2009. I think the main driver for this growth could be considered the reduction in the delinquency ratio that we have during the 2010, that fell from 4.9% in 2009, the end of 2009, to 3.6% at the end of 2010. Even with this improvement in our profit, we are able to increase our cover ratio. When I say cover ratio, I mean that for each reais that we have in credit past due more than 90 days, we have 2 reais in provision to cover this debt. So to resume, I can consider that 2010 was a great year for Bradesco.
And it's a great growth story for Bradesco here in Brazil. What proportion of the Brazilian market do you now serve?
I think before talk about market share, I think it's important to emphasize that in our understanding, we have the best distribution network in Brazil, when you consider not only branches, but consider all the agreements that we have, like Bradesco Expressos, like Banco Postal. So in this environment, we are trying to reach all the social classes we have different approach for different public. But to resume our market share, we can consider we have something around 20% of different markets. You see insurance, for example, we have 24% of the premiums. You see in credit portfolio, we have something close to 13%. In deposit, 18%. In branches, you have something close to 18% too.
Brazil has a very dynamic economy. What challenges and opportunities does that present you?
Brazil is an emerging country that is facing a wave of opportunities in our understanding. The last 7 years, more than 30 million of Brazilian citizens left the low-income class and became middle class. So in this environment creates a lot of opportunities for a bank like Bradesco that we are presenting in all the country. So it's really impressive.
So what's the big picture for the bank's strategy going forward as the growth continues here in Brazil?
Consider this environment, you can resume our strategy. Bradesco has a very clear strategy, but you can resume in just one word. As you can see, presence. We want to be everywhere in the country, and we are nowadays everywhere in the country. Of course, you have a lot of challenges in the country in the coming years in terms of investments. We have a lot of situation that coming, investment, for example, for World Cup that will take place in Brazil in 2014, the Olympic Games in 2016. You have a lot of opportunities, investments in pre-salt oil for Petrobras investments. So it's a dynamic economy, as you mentioned, but I think we are prepared to face that.
Let's turn to Bradesco's brand, seen in cities across the world. What value is that when dealing with customers?
Yes, in fact, we are considered the #6 brand among the banks in the world. In fact, I think it's a recognition about the values of the culture of the company and the perception of our clients. So the perception of good results that we have presented, in my opinion.
Finally, Banco Bradesco has always supported social and cultural projects. Which would you pick out from the current crop that you support?
This is your most difficult question that you made, because we have a lot of initiatives in this field. But we can highlight Bradesco Foundation. It is a very important project in Brazil, a very impressive project, where we are, through this project, we are able to provide free education for more than 110,000 Brazilian citizens. In the last 50 years, from the life of Bradesco Foundation, we are able to transform the lives of more than 2 million Brazilian citizens. We have other initiatives in the environment side, like the partnership with very important institutes like Fundação Amazonas Sustentável. Through this partnership, we're able to create conditions to preserve Amazon forest. Another important partnership we have with SOS Mata Atlântica. Through this agreement, we are able to provide conditions for this institution to recover the Atlantic forest in Brazil. So some of our initiatives.
Domingos Abreu, thank you very much.
You're welcome.